Welcome to Knights of Mandalore. I am Jared,
And I'm Lad.
and today we are talking about Bad Batch 14 War-Mantle.
Yes.
Oh boy, what an episode!
Yes. So we got a lot of revelations in this episode.
All right, so let's start with the fact that we finally got Gregor.
Yep. Gregor returning. We get to see his survival.
I figured at one point we would see the Rex's crew.
Mhm.
And this brings us ever closer to the Clone Rebellion.
Yes. Really setting up.
We are very clearly going toward this. But my question is, so apparently the Commandos don't have the inhibitor chips, because why would Gregor all of a sudden decide? Well, he did say he got blown up, and it did indicate they kind of had head trauma, so it could be like banged his head or something.
Yeah. I wonder if maybe the Clone Commandos don't have,
I thought they didn't.
They may not. It may be the old canon or the new canon. I'm not 100% sure, but at least Gregor seems to be okay with what's that character, like he seems to be, no chip. And it seems like Rex is definitely, we don't know what Rex is doing actually, but we know he's kind of running around getting in contact with clones that have not followed Order 66, like Cutler Quain and Gregor. So maybe he's gonna go looking for Wolf soon also eventually. I wonder if we'll get to see more of what how important Gregor's going to be going forward, if they're going to use more of him, or if he's going to be like, bye, next episode, and just like
according to what I'm reading here, it looks like it's possible that some of the clone commandos didn't have chips. So that could explain why Gregor's like up and leaving.
Maybe, yeah.
All right, so as we were watching this episode, I told Lad, okay, so basically, the characters that make appearances in the show are all the clone commandos, which I think is really cool.
Right.
But I told Lad, focus on those clone commandos. Something's going to happen. The elevator door opens, and like Jared predicted, Scorch from Republic Commando shows up.
Yeah, one of the Republic Commandos, which is really cool to see.
He and Delta Squad did cameo in Clone Wars. I think they showed up in the Savage Press arc.
Yeah, they did.
Unfortunately, not all of them got to talk. I was like, come on, do the voice actors.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I had to get that out of the way because that was like so amazing. Right. So second off, we have more with the whole indication about the Clone Rebellion. So we're gonna go off of all the major reveals. Number one, we now have stormtroopers.
Yeah.
So that was interesting is that it's okay. So we got like 500 or so,
something
or so clone commandos, and then instead like 1,000 TK units.
Yeah, which is the stormtroopers for that, right?
So that's like TK 421 from episode 4. So we're finally getting stormtroopers. They had a pretty cool helmet design too.
Yeah, it kind of looked like a little mix between a clone trooper and a stormtrooper.
It looked kind of like the clone trooper like Walker guys who have that silver like helmet, a mix between those guys and the stormtrooper helmet. You know how the dudes that were in the ATSTs in episode 6, the sort of like
little ball shape,
the ball shape helmet, So I definitely enjoyed that. I felt that was pretty. And if you notice, they're using blasters that look like clone blasters, but they sound like Empire blasters.
Right. Yeah. Ooh, I'm not sure. Yeah, it definitely did. There's definitely resemblance there. Kind of like a little mix between the two. Mm-hmm. You see where they're heading.
Now, speaking of where we're heading, let's talk about Kamino.
Oh yeah.
So the episode shows us the Empire's apparently abandoning Kamino and canceled all. Here's the key part: they canceled all the cloning contracts.
I see.
So, Lad, you want to talk more into that?
Yeah, the clone. So we saw what's it called? The Kaminoans there doing their secretive Kaminoan stuff, and then Lama Su, Nala Se start talking. He's like, there's stuff going on. We gotta get out of here. And then, round up all the important scientists, and we're getting out of here before, stuff goes down. And then, they are there. People, the cloning has completely been shut down. Contracts have been canceled fully. And the clones that are left are being transported off-world just to serve whatever purposes. Even the cadets, the untrained troopers, everyone is just going. so they're not going to leave anything behind.
Mhm.
And we also see, General,
I forget what
Admiral Stuckup, I think his name is.
Admiral Stuckup.
And he's going around supervising everything. Kaminoans realize that like Lama Su says like, hey, they're not going to leave us behind just like this.
No loose ends.
So they're like, gather scientists, we're going to go into hiding. And then, we see them get caught, and Nala Se is sent, to with the Empire, and because they can use scientists for whatever purpose. And then Lama Su, he's gonna, is he executed? Is he gonna be taken away and just, sent to an imperial prison?
I think he will be executed.
I think you're right.
It's the Empire we're talking about. He's not surviving.
Yeah. So that was interesting to see that, we finally get to see what Project War-Mantle is with the clone perspective, the Bad Batch perspective, and then we're also seeing the, Kaminoans being fully shut down at this point, and going to see the fallout of what's happening on Camino. So
I like how things more and more look like Empire things. Even the shuttles look a lot more like those Landa shuttles that the Empire uses.
I kind of wonder now. We haven't gotten to like the main part of the episode because we've been sidetracked with all the other cool stuff. But are there still gonna be bounty hunters looking for Omega?
That's a good point, because they've sort of abandoned that part.
Yeah, but Lama Su, if Lama Su's actually like kind of been shut down, I think that's gonna be kind of like ended then. Like I don't think anyone's gonna be looking for them anymore. I don't think.
Because who's gonna pay the bounty hunters?
Yeah. Especially after this season, I definitely don't see that being a continuing plot thread anymore.
Mm-hmm. But if there's any doubt in my mind that we're getting the Clone Rebellion for a season finale, it's gone now. I have no doubt we're probably going to have that. And what I just thought of, it's because they keep building toward it. We have all this reveals about the chips. All of the Rex friends are being assembled. We don't know what Rex is doing. He could be assembling the other clones, figuring out a way to avoid the chips. And freaking Hunter's captured. Let's talk about that real quick.
That's a big deal. We see them go in there to rescue a man, and then it turns out to be Gregor, and which is kind of crazy to see him. We see clone commandos. We see, like you said, Scorch, and we also get to see that clone stormtrooper hybrid that they're like, starting to get to. All that, and then they, have the big escape, sneak out. And Hunter gets captured, and they're just completely, the Bad Batch is just, we got to get out of here. They leave them behind, and then they're just like, see you, Hunter. And they left him behind on purpose because they hate him.
Okay. And then he's visited by Crosshairs, and Crosshairs like, you'll do. So what I think they're going to do is put a chip in his head.
That would be really insane if they actually do that. If they try to, because he's also not there to kill him yet, but...
He's a tracker too.
Because it's interesting, because when we first saw them hunting the Bad Batch, the Empire's order, Admiral Suckup was saying that.
Is that really his name?
No, it's not. He was saying that, I don't care about rogue clone troopers, just have them executed, but then they keep failing to do it. And then he saw how successful the Bad Batch was on Rylos, just destroying their operation. And then he said, too bad that they're not fighting on our side.
Yeah, I think they've really been playing towards this.
So now seeing Hunter captured with Crosshair.
Crosshair even says, I want the whole squad, but you'll do.
Exactly. So I wonder if, or we're going to see Hunter turned evil, that's going to have the Bad Batch versus Hunter.
That would be interesting, particularly with Omega being there.
What are we going to do without Hunter? Like, Hunter's the leader of the team.
I think they're going to go find Rex now.
You think so?
I think they're going to go find Rex, and then the Clone Rebellion is going to be in full swing.
Oh, boy.
No, I'm 100% sure. The next couple episodes will be setting up the Clone Rebellion, and then the Clone Rebellion, and then they're going to go find Rex.
Because we only have the last 2 episodes. I mean, this is like, could be a 2-part finale, or if it's just like 1 episode in the finale.
I think it's going to be a 2-part finale. The second part is going to be the Bad Batch trying to find Rex.
Yeah. They'll
find him at the end, and then he'll assemble his clones. They'll dig into Camino, and then the Empire is going to show up and start wrecking fools. And then what I just thought of, okay, so wouldn't it be interesting if who should lead the assault on Camino but Darth Vader?
Oh.
Can you imagine Anakin Skywalker versus clones?
Huh. I mean, he could show up. I mean,
and Rex and him have a standoff, and then Rex they could canonize that this is how Rex finds out who Vader is.
Yikes! Yeah,
Can you imagine that?
I wonder if Rex will find out anytime soon.
Yeah, did they ever like say whether or not he knew what happened to Vader?
They never made it seem like he knew much. I think he just assumed Anakin died in the Jedi Purge. He never talked about him.
Jeez, can you imagine the mind f of finding out your general and your best bud turned out to be a Sith?
Yeah, that'd be kind of crazy, honestly. Oh boy.
Yeah, this is a big episode.
Yeah, and I like the sneaking around. I like their the combat. Some of the spaceship battling was cool, and the Kamino and stuff was just insane. I loved all that stuff that was going on there. Seeing them running around and just talking to Crosshair, and he's like, "Hey, we're deploying all the clone troopers. No one's left behind now." Mm-hmm. So
I did like, and Lad brought this up to me after we finished the episode. How people are saying about how this made up for last episode because people were like bored with last episode.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it. I didn't think it was that bad, but this one definitely made up for it.
Yeah, I think you're definitely right.
Say more about that, about last episode and people's conception.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people talking about that last episode was a bit slow. Like I know it definitely felt like there wasn't a big plot reveal,
Hauser.
Right? But it was still a fun episode. And I love moments where Wrecker was like, "Get us out of here!"
Yeah.
Like,
go.
I like seeing Sid in on the action because Sid is like, obviously Sid is the real, star of the Bad Batch. She is, just running everything. So I love her as a character. Seeing Omega, sticking her neck out for, Sid and even the other. The what's his face? I forgot the Deveronian that was there.
Roland. By the way, going back to this episode real quick. My favorite scene of this episode, I think Lyle and I agree on this, is when they're having the conversation about whether or not to help Rex, and then Wrecker agrees with everyone who stands up.
Yeah,
he's like, "Okay, Hunter has a point. Yeah. Crosshair Tech has a point.
Yeah."
Oh, the kid's got a point.
Yeah, that
was so good.
Wrecker's just like going with what everyone else says.
It doesn't even matter what they're saying. He's like, "You got a point, bro."
Yeah, I love that.
Oh man,
he doesn't actually. He's not like thinking for himself. He just go along with what everyone else says. But that's funny. I mean, Wrecker, that was good. And we saw a little bit more of Omega copying what Hunter was doing with also.
I love that with the blade and the device. I love how and Lad even asked, when is she going to get her own Bad Batch armor?
Yeah, she needs to get her own little Bad Batch armor.
I think that'll be season 2. There'll be a time jump between season 1 and season 2. She'll be older and she'll have her own armor.
That'd be awesome if they did something like that.
Because I think she's unaltered too.
Yeah, I think she ages normally as opposed to the other people.
So I'd imagine when season 2 of Bad Batch starts up, it could, if they do a season 2, it could be taking place during episode 4 times.
That'd be kind of crazy.
Because 4 takes place about a decade or so after episode. Well, not a decade because
19,
Luke's a baby.
19 years.
So Luke is 19 when all this happens.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and he's like 22-ish.
So I guess 19. That'll be old enough for Omega to start doing stuff.
Yeah. I mean, right now, what is she, like 10 or 12? Yeah.
So yeah, 29 or so. Yeah, I could see them giving her more of a role then.
That'd be interesting.
Can you imagine, by the way, so Lad and I were talking about while watching this episode, isn't it kind of funny how Dee Bradley Baker voices everyone? Can you imagine if Dee Bradley Baker also voiced Omega? So that's how talented this dude's voice is.
Just like he can do like the high-pitched young voice also.
The high-pitched New Zealand accent, yeah.
Dude, like I was saying that, like I really forget that it's literally
just one dude talking to himself.
Like all 5 of them, all 4 of them on the Bad Batch, and then also their adversary Crosshair and all the other clones.
He also does Crosshair?
Yeah, he does all the clones. He does everyone.
Wow.
Yeah, every single it's funny because you think like, oh, maybe they would just use another voice sometime just for some diversity.
Crosshairs, I'm like,
yeah, he literally does every single clone voice, no matter what, which is kind of wild. Like I would think, because I feel like people wouldn't make a big deal if they had a different voice, but they're adamant about using the same voice for every clone to keep with that.
Yeah, I gotta see this.
Yeah, check it out.
Keep talking. I gotta see this.
I remember that seeing in this episode when they had to make their escape, they were using the rafters and stuff like that, and I was saying how like in the Star Wars universe, honestly, they ought to put more cameras and like laser grids in the
he is everyone that's a clone. Jeez.
I know, right?
Look at this. He plays the Bad Batch clone troopers, Captain Hauser, Captain Rex, who the hell is Captain Gray?
Captain Gray. Oh, he was the guy that was with Caleb in the first episode.
Oh, okay.
The guy that was there.
Clone Trooper, cut. Gregor. It's like every. Wow,
Literally
that's true. Wow.
every single person, every single clone.
That's interesting. Wow.
And he
Okay.
does, different voice for all of them.
Wow, that's a really talented voice actor. Jeez,
Yeah,
you would
dude.
never. Tech and Crossroads are the ones where I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
because they don't sound like Django.
No, that's crazy. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised they didn't like use a different voice actors for the Bad Batch, where they're like, hey, it works just doing the clones, so we'll go with it.
Just imagine if your mom ever like admonishes you for talking to yourself, just say D. Bradley Baker does it.
Yeah,
He gets paid to do
But he
it.
talked himself to get used to that.
Yeah, I know. He just think about that. That's gonna be the greatest gig in the world. All you have to do is talk to yourself.
Yeah. Oh man.
All right. So anyway, that was just a quick thing to derail our conversation. But anyway, so let's talk a little bit more about what we saw in the episode. I liked how Scorch could take multiple stun rounds, and what that's showing is, because anyone that's played Republic Commando or like is familiar with the franchise knows that the armor has energy shields.
Right. Yeah.
Which could explain why how Gregor survived, because even with references, I was blown up.
Yeah, like I can handle anything. He did seem a little kooky though after that.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny. I think it's a retcon, because I thought it was. I thought they said in Rebels that he got kooky when they took out his chip, like something happened.
Yeah, they did say that. So I guess they kind of made a little mix of it too. Maybe like the explosion made.
Well, here's
a
the
little
thing:
bit
Clone Wars retcon that they never got their chips taken out.
Yeah.
So I guess so.
You gotta be like, well, it was true from a certain point of view.
A certain point of view.
Yeah. Oh boy.
But yeah, so all in all, this gets a 10. It definitely gets a 10 out of 10. Jeez.
Yeah. No, this was really insane, really fun.
All right, predictions for next episode. Lad, you start.
Oh boy. I mean, I feel like we could start with Hunter being, on Camino and that whole operation
and being brainchious. So
Yeah.
you think he's going to be rechipped?
I agree with you now that you're saying that it could actually be our opening scene. We're going to see that first.
I think it's going to be the opening scene.
Make it
Yes,
dramatic.
I think that'd be a great way to like foreshadow.
And then we're gonna go to the Bad Batch. We want to see like what's going on with them, and are we gonna see them meet up with Rex? And if they're not going to do that, then I feel like they're gonna drop off Gregor quickly so they can keep back with the core group. But if they're gonna go meet Rex, then they're gonna have everyone.
I think based upon the fact that they took Hunter, they're gonna go team up with Rex. Mm-hmm. If Hunter was still alive, if Hunter was still with the team, 100%, I think they would just drop him off and leave. But based on the fact that they have to go get Hunter, and where is he gonna be?
Yeah, that's true.
I'm pretty sure that they're gonna because remember, who is also the one dude that was hesitant to join Rex?
That's true.
Hunter,
yeah.
Bad Batch could go, hey, we kind of need help here.
Right.
And this is we're like, we could find Wolf. Maybe that's what Rex was doing. He was trying to get Wolf.
Right. Yeah.
It would be kind of interesting. It would be kind of interesting if actually season 2, the Bad Batch all die.
Oh man.
And it's just Omega. She's the last Bad Batch member.
Oh man, that'd be
because
rough.
You have to imagine most of the clones and at least some of the Bad Batch members are gonna die in the Clone Rebellion.
No.
Like I can imagine probably obviously Rex and his crew. I could see Hunter surviving. I don't think Crosshairs is gonna live.
No, I want to see Crosshairs redemption.
I could see a Wrecker going out in a blaze of glory.
No, they can't kill off the characters.
I think Tech will probably survive. Hunter and Tech, I think, are the 2 Bad Batch members I think will survive. Maybe Echo. And I think I 100% think what's going to happen at some point is okay. So my prediction is that I agree with you. It's going to start off or somewhere early in the episode.
Yeah.
It will be him being rechipped and like retooled, just like they did in the first episode. And then what I think is going to happen is that they're going to find Rex, team up. They're going to find out he's gathered all these clones together that have been rebelling. Then they're going to go fight. It'd be interesting if actually the Empire also used the clones whose chip worked against the rebel clones. It was clone v clone.
Right.
That would be interesting because the clones fighting their brothers.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of a nice little repeat of what happened on Umbara.
Yeah, that's true.
And then I think most of the clones are going to be wiped out because that's what you have to think, because there's no other way to explain why all these millions of clones went away from Clone Wars to the Empire times.
Yeah.
And then I feel actually, forget that. I don't think it's going to be clone v clone because they spend so much time in the series building up the stormtroopers. I think there's going to drop a legion of stormtroopers there.
That's true. I mean, they could just make clone versus stormtroopers, right?
Because if it's clone v clone, they wouldn't have spent this much time building up to them being stormtroopers.
Yeah, that's true.
What they could do is they could build up like how bad at shooting the stormtroopers are, because they kind of played off that where Greg was like, they're not as skilled as us. And I'm like, yes. Definitely. And then I think the surprise of the season finale is going to be Darth Vader is going to show up on Kamino and wreck the clones.
Oh man, that'd be insane if he did.
Yeah, it's going to be like Anakin fighting the droids, only it's Darth Vader. And he's going to completely destroy most of them.
That'd be insane.
And then I think somehow Rex is going to find out who Darth Vader is.
Mm-hmm. And
then one more prediction, Ahsoka is going to show up.
Ahsoka showing up?
Because she's the only Clone Wars person that was associated with this in some way, with Order 66 in some way that hasn't showed up yet, right?
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think that at the Martez sisters get in touch with her, and then she's the only reason why Darth Vader doesn't take out most of all the clones.
Could be.
And then once again, I think at least the only Bad Batch members I could see probably surviving of the group that are left now, excluding Crosshairs, because I think Crosshairs is going to be killed. I think the survivors are going to be Hunter and Echo. Now that I think about it, I think Tech and Cross and Wrecker are going to be killed.
Yeah, I could see that happening, honestly, with some of those characters.
And then I think it's going to end in a time jump where it goes into like, this is 19 years later, or like however long it's going to be Omega, and she's going to have her clone armor or some type of armor. Maybe she falls in with the Mandalorians.
See, yeah.
Would it be interesting if the Clone Rebellion happens and the Mandalorians show up? It's like somehow that's who they call for help.
Yeah, honestly, that could be really interesting.
And then that's where the Empire does that big purge thing.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Anyway, there are so many different ways this could end because we're approaching that time. How do you think it's going to end?
Yeah, next episode is definitely going to set up where we're going for the end of the series.
It could even be like a post-credit scene where it's like the Empire, the clones say, "Let's rebel now," or something like that. Yeah. So it could be the whole episode is just them torturing Hunter, and then in other words, the Bad Batch won't be in the next episode. It'll just be Hunter and Crosshairs, and it's like Hunter being tortured, and then Hunter being converted at the end.
Oh no!
Because they had plenty of episodes. Did they have one episode that was mostly Crosshairs? It was like the third or so episode.
Hera episode, you're saying? Or?
No, it was the episode where the Bad Batch is crashed on the moon. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it was kind of like a split focus where it's like Crosshair half the episode.
Where Crosshair has the stormtroopers like murk that entire family.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway, there's so many different places we could take this show, and I think this is a good place to leave it, unless you have any other points about the episode you want to bring up. If there's anything that we forgot, go ahead and drop in the comments, and we will take a look at it. Anyway, may the force be with you, and hand shot first.
McClunky.